everyone. Welcome. If you're new to this channel, let me introduce myself. My name is Logan. This is Thomas Personal Growth and Development. And today we're talking about attraction tips for men, how to build and maintain mystery. So, I have two scenarios for you guys. Two scenarios. Guy number one goes on a date with a woman. And the whole date, they order dinner, and then the whole date he's spilling out his entire life story, talking about all his problems, talking about his childhood, spilling out everything, and not really asking any questions to her, and not asking questions to get to know her and to emotionally open her up. Guy number two gets on a date, they order dinner, and he starts asking questions more about her, makes the focus of the date on her more than him. Every once in a while, she'll ask a question to him, and he'll about himself, about his upbringing, about his childhood, about his life, what he's doing, his job, his work, his ambitions, his pursuits, and he'll answer the question, but he'll be very vague. He won't give any real specifics, and it'll be a very quick answer. So, and then the date ends. These two different scenarios, these two different guys, their date ends, and then they go home. Guy number one I talked about, who spilled everything out, ends up texting the girl how much of a great date he'd had, texting her every day, calling her, trying to set up the next date. The second guy, after his date ends, she doesn't really hear from him for a while. 2, 3, 4, 5 days go by, she doesn't really hear from him. Just wondering what's going on. So my question for you guys, from a woman's perspective, which guy do you think she is going to be interested in the most? Is it guy number one or guy number two? If you guess guy number two, you're right, it's guy number two. But we're going to go into why is it guy number two? Why is it the guy that didn't really expose a lot about himself, say a lot about himself, kept an air of mystery about himself, be the guy the girls are interested in? If we think about it like logically and rationally in our male brains, we think, well, guy number one laid out all his cards on the table. What's wrong with that? He showed exactly who he was. This is who I am. She laid out all the cards, and then she can make a fair assessment of how she feels about him. That makes sense, right? What's wrong with that? But that's not the guy she's going to be interested in. She's always going to be interested in guy number two, who created and generated that air and aura of mystery about himself. Why? Because he's using the greatest tool that men have, and a lot of men don't know how to use it or when to use it or why they should use it, and that tool that men have is using a woman's imagination. I'll give you a little story from my life years ago when I was a teenager. I'm like, by nature I'm a quiet guy, so I would naturally kind of create this air of mystery, but not really knowing that I'm doing it, that I'm generating. That's just me being a quiet guy. And I remember when I was 13, 14 years old, I went to this camp to learn French. This was like 2000, 2001 or 2. And for whatever reason, like I finished grade 7, my first year of high school, going into grade 8. And for whatever reason, at that camp, I got more female attention than I was ever used to in my life. And I didn't know how to handle it. 13, 14 years old, you don't know how to handle it. It's kind of foreign to me. You don't know what to do. I didn't really understand it, and everybody else started to notice this too. Like, why? I'm kind of a dorky, nerdy, kind of quiet, reserved, keep to myself kind of a guy. I don't know what they're interested in. So a guy that I met there, a friend of mine that I met at that camp, maybe a couple of years older than me, probably a little more experienced with me, he said something to me I'll never forget. He told me, Logan, women are interested in you because you keep everything to their imagination. You're so calm and you're quiet and you build that mystery in their heads that they're unable to figure you out. And telling me that I was able to use their imagination to draw their attraction. Not even knowing what I was doing, not even aware of it, I was just being my quiet self. That I was triggering imagination through mystery, not even knowing that I was doing it. And I never forgot that. But why does that trigger interest? Why do we do that? Why? Well, like, why would we think on dates that we can't talk about ourselves, we can't talk too much, and like, it's where at times we feel like it's a bit of a silly game that we gotta play on a date, and like, okay, we gotta be careful how we talk because we want to come off like this, we don't come off like that, and a lot of guys will get fed up and agitated and just throw in the towel and just be like, screw this, I'm not playing these games, I'm just going to show this girl who I am and throw out all my cards on the table. And that's where you lost the game. And that's where you lose when you go into that with that mentality. Of course, I'm not playing games with this girl. Yes, you are. You are going to play a game with that girl. Because she's going to play a game with you. And if you don't know how to play that game, then you're out. Game over. You got to think about it as a video game. You choose not to play, you're not going to win. You got to learn how to play the game. It's called the dating game. And be able to learn to generate mystery. One of the biggest mystery killers, like I don't have it with me right now, obviously, but biggest mystery killers are phones. Phones now, today, in 2021, are the absolute worst thing towards dating. Because it just, when you don't know how to use it effectively. Primarily when you're going out on dates and when you're dating someone, when you're in the beginning stages of dating, keep the phone for setting dates. The occasional joke, once every now and then, and kind of let her initiate that joke. Create that air of mystery. You don't need to be in contact with her all the time. She needs to wonder. She needs to be at home thinking about you. And you don't give her, if you're like blowing up her phone with text messages telling her how much you like her, she doesn't know what to think about you. But she needs to be able to figure out how you feel about her in person, going out on dates and being together, not through a phone. And even when you are in person, when you're getting to know each other, make dating a journey for the woman. Make it a path of journey where she gets to have time to experience getting to know you and opening you up slowly over time. She gets to know little things about you. And that, because women, that's the fun part of dating. Because if you just throw all your cards out on the table and let her know your entire life story, there's nothing interesting for her. There's no game to play. There's no journey of romance for her because you just gave it up all out on the first date. She doesn't need to know that. And I think for me in the past, for a lot of guys, maybe that creates a sense of anxiety. We got to push through that anxiety. Oh, I got to tell her everything I need to know, or otherwise she'll be upset. No, she won't. No. Even if a woman is upset, you're not telling her everything about yourself on the first date. If a woman does do that, she doesn't even know how to play the game. Gotta learn how to play the game. And women that know how to play the game well will enjoy the mystery, will enjoy her imagination kind of taking over, and enjoy. Well, I'm not gonna say, like tactics, but it is a game that you need to learn how to play. You gotta learn these little social nuances, these social mannerisms, these social fine, I'll say it, tactics, if you will, to play. Because this is what triggers attraction and what triggers a woman's emotions and triggers romance and triggers mystery. Not that you're not able to have a conversation. Have a conversation, be able to talk, and be able to make her laugh. But keep an air of mystery by not speaking too specific, not speaking too long, and adding a positive twist to the things you're saying about your life. It needs to be a positive twist to it too. And then you end a date, and then you go home, and then she has that space to think about you. That time to think, oh, that cool guy on that date, like, oh, I really liked him. Like, I haven't heard from him in like 3 days. Well, I wonder what he's doing. And she picks up her phone. What are you doing? Like, stuff like that. And when you're in constant contact with a woman all the time, she doesn't get the time and space to feel that. And that's what you want to, the feelings you want to generate is that. Give her the space to miss you and to think about you and to wonder about you and build that air of mystery. And on that note, thank you so much for watching, guys. If you like this video, you can like, comment, subscribe. You can follow me on Twitter, LinkedIn, Instagram, Facebook, Logan Ryder, Timeless Personal Growth and Development. And on Monday, I will be doing another attraction tips for men video. This one will be how to remain the oak tree. And if you're not sure what that means, tune in on Monday and you'll find out. Have a good one.